Don't know if I'm going to trade the draft. But talking of the draft, it's that time. Tampa take number 1. They win the lottery. Vegas slides in at 2. Wild, Rangers, Sabre, Red Wings. If we would have traded with them, then yeah, we would have been 5th, I believe. I think Tampa jumped up that many. I'm not too sure if Detroit were lower than Tampa. I don't actually think they were. But anyway, we'd be 5th or 6th with them. Instead, we traded with Ottawa, so we'd be 5th or 6th. Sorry, we'd be like 7th, 8th in the second round instead. We're actually in at 17. I thought 15, 16, 17 for us. Yeah, that's not great. Then we're up though at 37, as I said, number 6 there for us. And then the next one is 68. It's not bad. 80. So yeah, so we got 4 in the top 80. We didn't quite get a 5th for the 100. 4 in the top 80 though I feel is quite decent. But Lapierre we didn't scout. We didn't scout Lafreniere. We didn't scout Stützle or Ponomayrov. Like all these E's we just didn't scout. Theo Rocher, I'll take him anyway if he's available. And Maysak. I might even take Rocher even if somebody else is available. I really don't know where we'll be. I really don't know where we'll be. Okay. Lafreniere, Quentin Byfield. Raymond goes 3. Perfetti goes 4. And Askarov goes number 5. Okay then. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame because I really liked Askarov. I really thought that could have been a long-term goalie right there. So we get in somebody who's pretty good at the moment, and then we just slide Askarov in as backup because he's got 1 star according to our team. And then we just run with Askarov later on. So, yeah, I don't think we could have traded up to 5. We'd have to give up far too much. We'd have to give up far too much. I was hoping he'd be there around 10, and then we could trade up for him. That was honestly the plan there. Okay, well, now he's gone then. So Holtz at 6, Lapierre, Drysdale, Fodey, Neighbours, Jarvis, McLennan, Bourque, Dylan Peterson, Clevin, and Vierling. Rossi's there. Rocher is there. I'm not sure if Sementeval is great or not. Mercer, again, I'm not sure. Ponomer, I don't know really much about these players. I know Rossi, I know Rocher. I don't know Stützle, but he's sitting there on 4.5, and damn, is that tempting. That is tempting. The league doesn't think he's that great. The central scouting does. And we don't know anything about him personally. Is that a risk I'm willing to take? Okay. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. If I'm trading away Jost, and if Turcotte is not a big potential player, really we've only got Pinto, who we traded for, that might be a second-line centre. Do I want to really spend to get a second-line centre, though? Because wing, I think we're okay on. I think I might rule out Mercer and Stützle. No, I can't do that. I can't do that, though. He's solid. Okay. Yeah, I'm not overly fussed with him. I mean, at least if I went for Ponomaryov, then we'd be getting a player that can contribute this year. Faces of 14 doesn't just really look that great. Enjoys the spotlight. Maybe that's not the kind of player for me. Rossi. We know he's decent. Yeah, he's solid defensively. He could probably contribute there right away. He's a bit weak at the back. Playmaker. Yeah, I'm not sure really on him. Mercer, again, solid physically. Okay. He'd be decent, but this is our first round pick. I don't want decent. Rossi is just there winking at me. Unscouted, but winking at me with 18 passing, 16 defensive read. Face-offs, I mean, on the counter-attack with a quick team, like as a setup man, as a playmaker, there's so much that I think I can do with Theo Rossi. That might be my play right now. Unless I like Simon Tavile. Plays both wings. Kinda like that. Good offensive read. Solid. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, who do I go for? Doesn't look as good here, but his actual role ratings might be more of a factor. And if he does have high potential and he's already really good at these roles, these might grow. These normally don't change by too much. So he wouldn't be a center, wouldn't be able to take the face-offs. I think I'm down to 3 realistically. I think I'm down to 3 realistically right now. I think this guy's 1. Theo is another. Rossi's my 3rd. We don't need young defensemen. We've got plenty of those. Okay. There might be better players out there, but I really like how Theo looks. We're only going from an 18 to a 17. I mean, it's not too bad there. And I just love a few of his stats. I mean, he needs to get quicker and better physically, but really he's got good face-off, stick checking. To get his defensive read up, we get a couple of bits up here. I could see him being a second-line center for years and years to come. And I did say, and if they were better rated, I might be just stuck on Theo if he was here. 17th overall. I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Theo Rossi will join the Avs. Just in case something stupid happens. And these two fall, like, a lot. Then, yeah, sure. Mercer wasn't bad, but I don't think he was anything special. Pornham looked decent now, but I don't know. There wasn't a lot of roles I liked him in. Stützle, I just think we see kind of if he goes anywhere too. Not expecting to see them anywhere near the top of the list. In fact, next up is McFadden, Morrisseau. And Marco Rossi rounds out the 20. Okay. Bit surprised though, this Stützle guy does seem to be falling, and oh my god, 37th overall we can get Stützle. Porno's still there as well. Looks like Mercer just went. And Simon Tavile actually went 29th. That is... Whew. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at Chase. I mean, I would say to bring him in to work with his dad, but his dad's kind of not working anymore. I took his job. Yeah, it doesn't look great. I mean, I think... Ooh, okay, now that could be interesting. That could be interesting, but possibly injury issue. Add you to the draft list. Malik. Yeah, I might be in line for a goaltender. Nothing really comes up, but intangibles, fairly strong. Not great under pressure, but he is young. Maybe that helps out. I don't know. Okay, add him to the list as well. There's a couple other names here I do know, like Gushkin and Pitlick and Kaden Gould. Okay, there's a bunch more there we can look at in future rounds. I think if he's got anywhere close to that 4.5, I've got to go for him now. I've got to go for him. We've gone for Theo. Now we get Stutzel. I don't think he's amazing. The league says he's 3.5. I think he might be 3.5 or 4. But even then, at this stage, with great offense, really good physicals, he can play. He can play. Not the best of all, but 37 overall. 17 and 37. I think we've got two decent impact forwards. Now we go to 68. And yeah, it looks like just Bednar is there. Everybody else is gone. Malik just went a few picks ago. Bjorklund, Garand before them. Yeah, Pitlick's up there. Gould, Delamont, 50-51. Really good ranges for those. Chase Sakic went 44. And, yeah, 39. So a couple after our pick was Vasily Ponomarev. Interesting. Let's have a look at Bednar. Yeah, mentally tough. I like that. 17, 6'4". Solid, not great. Would probably like some better professionals, but intangibles. I mean, as a backup, and I think at this stage, 68 overall. I think I'm going to do that. Simino is still here. Okay, solid. He could contribute. He could contribute. I know the name, that's the thing. I don't really know how good he's going to be. Double down on goalies. We've got ourselves a Blomqvist who wears down a bit, but plays a lot of minutes, intangibles. Good player. You know, I don't mind that either. So I'm not fussed with the ones we've got. We might as well replace them out. Very, very sturdy player. It looks like Kula from Slovakia. And look at him as a defensive. He knows how to play defensive defenseman. He's just going to be better as a player. But those roles are absolutely phenomenal. Prone to injuries, doesn't score goals, shut down defenseman. Under pressure. Complaints about cheap shots. A bit of a goon, maybe. Regular player. don't mind that so much. And Mansurov, if he's still here, yeah, he'd be a decent playmaker. Develops into a good player, so. Okay, Mansurov, Kula, and who do we put in? Blomqvist. There's also a couple more here. Kelly Klang. Doesn't seem to be bad. I might just double down on a goalie here. Solid, nothing special. Pretty decent. Okay. Add both of those to the draft list. See, I think we've done decent at the moment what we've got. So, okay, we've got 80. And I don't know what we've got after 80. So we've got 110s. We've got one pick after this. And I think, yeah, 141 might be our last. $141 might be our last, guys. Lovely. Okay. So with that in mind, got a couple of goalies down at the moment. Ooh. Okay. I'd like a left defenseman. I really would. Yeah, if he is 3-star potential 80th in the draft, I think that's a really decent pickup. We've got 3 goalies. Hopefully at least one makes it to the next pick. Oh, one does, but not the one I wanted. Kana Klang just went. Bilius went. And Skotnikov at 93 to Nashville. That's the one I wanted. We were quite far off that. Cameron Rowe just went as well. Okay. I think I'm just going to go and pick Blomqvist. I believe now we're on 141. Our final pick. 2.5 now. So, it's all about seeing if there's anyone here that we believe. What am I doing? I'm getting lost a little bit. Anyone will do a job, basically. Counterattack, he's got a couple of decent. The other guy didn't seem to have anything. Not particularly good at anything. Yeah, we're getting down to the point now where it's not really as easy to find impact players. But then again, saying that, Sokolov looks pretty decent here. Not bad in the roles. A bit of a power forward. 6'4". Prone to injuries. Okay, not great defensively, but a big sort of power forward into a good player. You know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Left is what, 5'6" defender. So good at rolls. So good at rolls. Extremely injury prone. That short. We're not going to do that. Tashevsky looks solid. Looks weak. Not really fast. Andrei Kuznetsov doesn't seem to be related. Decent sort of offensive categories. Couple of decent roles. Okay. I mean, that's not bad. Zelush from Slovakia. Again, another 2 or 3 Slovakians look pretty damn decent, honestly. Draftable. Solid in terms of roles, not bad stats. He gets hurt a lot. Needs to play well. Fringe into good. You know what? I think those are my 3 right there. Russian left wing. I think he could be decent. He might be even able to be depth this season. So the fact that he's a bit older than the other two, not a problem. And yeah, really, those two centers and a 17-year-old. 17-year-old with great defensive read, pretty good defensive read. If he's got any potential, if he's just been skipped for something, that will be good. Regular player. Oh, I'd be tempted. If he was 2.5, I'd go for Pashin. I'm telling you now, I would go for Pashin. I like the stuff we're getting back there. 6'5", meh. Yeah, okay. Okay, these three. Let me think about this a little bit. Okay. There's a 17-year-old goalkeeper on 2-star. Now, this could be a long-term backup. And even if nothing else, goalies have some trade value. And being 17, we don't need to make a decision. Xavier Parents up there, time for twosies up here as well. I looked at some of these 17-year-olds. Let me mark this goalie. So I think that may be what I want to do. I was looking here through all the 17s and seeing who I liked. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of meh about all these players. I mean, Pashin I like a little bit, but if I'm going 2-star, I'm going goalie. Because I just think that they're going to be more difficult to find. And that means all the goalies we have are replaceable. Because we got ourselves a good goalie of the future, perhaps. If not, we might be able to trade for the one we really like, that Russian who went a few picks early. I think he went like 90th odd. There he is. Skotnikov to the Predators. We could pick him up, do a deal, and trade away one of ours. We could go really crazy and try and trade for Askarov or Spencer Knight for our long-term goalie. So I think backup goalie at 17, Sharabarin. Again, he doesn't look great. He's 5'10". He's not amazing. What I like though is reflexes are already pretty high. He's got stamina. He's not really weak anywhere. And he's got a lot of time to work on it. So as a backup as well, I don't mind so much some of his bad stuff. But he's got good intangibles. So if he's coachable, we'll see. We'll see. I think this is mainly trade bait, but pretty much for our last pick in the draft. I believe it's our last pick in the draft. I think Sharabarin will be the player for us. And that should take us through. It does indeed. And yeah, a bunch of 2-stars undrafted. So, hey, we got a goalie that we liked. Got a couple of goalie options that we kind of like. Got a couple of forward options early. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go forward one day. We'll go check our unsigned draftees and see what we think of our draft in total. I think with what was left on the board when we picked, I was fairly happy. I didn't do any trading at the draft itself, although I easily could have. That's not what we want. So info. So there we go. Looks like we got Bednar in, who is 17. Again, long term, if we keep around Bednar and Sharabarin, that means now we can get rid of the 3-year-olders who are exactly the same in terms of rating right now of Shmakov and Anunin. And then we've also got Miner and Blomqvist, who we don't know about. But really, we get a year younger there. We get 3 years younger on both these goalies. I think that was a better way of going since Gruber is quite young, or if we're going to trade for a goalie to make it happen the way we want to. You can see there, Kula comes in quite nicely as the best defensive prospect we've got here. Harrison will be decent with him, but that's what we wanted. Refresh the goalie pool, which we're going to do. And we're probably going to draft sort of another one next year as well. If there's a good one early, I'm going to take an early pick. So I can get superstar players elsewhere. But those, like, elite goaltenders, they don't come about very, very often at all. But yeah, really, I'm happy with that side of the puck right now. Well, that side of the ice, I should say. Hey. I thought Newhook was supposed to be a 3-star. Now he's back up to a 5-star. You've got to love the ratings. They jump until they get in your team, and until you see them properly, they jump all over the place. That is outstanding. Okay, if that's right, then Pinto, I think, has dropped in the same time period. We're still scouting them. That's why we're getting a better idea of them scouted. But if they're right today, then that means Newhook is a potential first-line centre for us. Rochette and Pinto will be really good pieces as well moving forward through the centre. And then fourth line and depth, Saigon and Burzan might be that. Metala Kovalenko, Weiss, Ranta, Morrison, all sort of middle 6 wingers. And then Bokage might make it to the second line. Stutzel probably will drop off again. Could be a really nice second line winger. So really, we've got 4 second liners, a first liner. I mean, really, Stutzel and Newhook on the first line. Roche, Pinto, and Bokage as a second line, with Hellison and Kula together as, like, I don't know, the second line defensive pairing, or the third line, because we know we've got young players. And Bednar, maybe Blomqvist as a backup, maybe Sharabin. Let me just trade them all. I don't know. We've got lots of pieces. I'm very happy with that draft. Upcoming free agents. In a few days, we're going to lose all these players, but we've already replaced them with that draft. That is perfect. We get a lot younger. We get a lot cheaper. Potential goes way up. I'm really happy with that. And one thing I am also looking for. We can do some damage. Hishe, Barzal, all up there. Nolan Patrick, that could be a decent move. Roman Yossi is honestly someone I'm thinking of to lead that defensive core for us on that left-hand side. Mittelstadt, a decent second-line centre until some of these young kids we've got really grow, at which point he'll drop down to a third-line centre or trade bait back out. I think his value will be decently low. Goaltending, we can do something. Hope Beast may be available. Parsons, maybe there's a deal there. Kakkonen as well, long-term. Blackwood as well. Or if we want to go a little bit sort of down in quality now, but with that potential to grow, Alexander Georgiev of the New York Rangers. Not sure if I want to make that move between him and Gruber. But yeah. Yeah, that's a tempting one. So if Hishe or Barzal are up there, I'm probably going to go after them, because why not? Georgiev might be a move to make. Patrick could be buy low, sell high, as could be Mittelstadt. And then Roman Yossi and Holtby as well could be options with a little bit more of a veteran presence. But like I say, at the top end of that depth chart, not the bottom where our veterans currently are. Apart from that, there's some decent players like Sergachev and Pulak in defense. Gustafsson, we might bring in the Goose. Tyson Barry, I mean, we'd really win if we got Barry in. Jari to go with him. Why not? I mean, there's so much we can do here. Vertinen, Dandanov's there. A little bit of a depth on that right wing if we did trade out Jost, maybe. So we got options. We have got options. They're all coming up. They are all coming up. The awards. So it looks like we should start with the big awards first. So Maurice Richard to Pasternak, Art Ross to Forsberg. No award for the plus minus. The Norris actually goes to Brett Burns. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see why. Kopitar looks like a very, very good season for him. Rebounds back to the top of the list with the Selkie. Tuukka Rask, best goalie and least goals against, probably go hand in hand there for him. But nice to see him back amongst the awards. It's been a while. The Hart goes to Connor McDavid, who else pencil him in every single year, despite the fact he's only ever won one. In real life, he will win it every year on FHM 6 if it's like FHM 5. Seth Jones, playoff MVP there, gets the Conn Smythe. Sam Steele, former player in the CHL for me with Regina. And that's pretty decent, 64 in 81. Yep, decent. Actually thought a couple of the players might get ahead of him, but that's fine. Dale Talon, Executive of the Year. He is with Florida. And the second, a lot of missed awards. Logan Couture gets Lady Bing. Masterton goes to Ron Hainsey. Ovechkin, the Messier Leadership Award. And Ted Lindsay is McDavid again. Expect him to win that every year. Pitt de Boer, 55 wins with San Jose. We took them to Game 7. But hey, that's kind of how that goes. We look at the playoffs. We got knocked out by San Jose. They go to another Game 7. And, yeah, interesting one there. Just squeezed by Anaheim. But then they're knocked out by Nashville, who get to the final. So Nashville's past the St. Louis Blues in 7. Swept the Stars. Get 6 games against San Jose. And then 6 against the Blue Jackets, who make it to a final. Interesting. But yeah. Okay. Not next year. Let's go to the next season. I almost clicked that then, but it's not what it's not the next hockey year, it's the next calendar year. So yeah. So we'll leave things here for now. I'm probably going to split this recording into 2 videos. One for playoffs and season wrap-up and one for draft. I'm not sure about how we're going to do this. But I'm thinking maybe 3 a season. And we have... Let me know in the comment section below what format you prefer. But 3 a season might work for the off-season. Sort of post-draft until... like opening night, including all the preseason stuff. That'll be one video. Then a season roundup after simulating with a little look at the trade deadline, if anything comes up, in another video. And then the third video for the season will be the playoffs, the draft, and any trades we make at the draft itself. So that might be a better way of getting it down to about 20 to 30 minutes of video, which is where I kind of want to be on these. Alternatively, if you want them to be like an hour long and just do a whole season in one video or an hour and a half, you let me know and we'll go on from there. I believe in my test season we got 20 points, exactly the same sort of ticks and crosses. So it's really not much difference. We actually lose out on a point to put in here. That's fine. We got no self-preservation. These were the starting stats, by the way. Better trading, because I think I really get to grips with that. If I'm not in charge of the day-to-day games, I really want to be in charge of all the trades and everything like that. So decent discipline and self-management. After this season, we'll start rounding those out to 10, hopefully, each next season. And then the negotiating skill up as far as we can get it. Over this side, really none of this truly matters. I'll probably dump extra points to get the coachings up to 10, these trainings up to 12, and then motivation up as high as it can go. So we've got a plan right now, though. 3 points for negotiating. We've got trades to make. and roll on the next season. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. I'll see you soon. And let me know what format you would like in these videos. Knowing that this runs about an hour and a half for a full season. So 3 30-minute videos of, individualized content. The off-season, the regular season roundup, and the post-season. Is that what you want to see? Let me know. I'll see you back here soon, though, for more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 with your Colorado Avalanche.